Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Product Profits Mastery. Today we're going to discuss some of the myths that surround importing from China or the things that people are worried when they're starting to get their products imported from China. So the reason we want to discuss that is there's some of the myths might be true, some of the myths might hold some weight, but maybe all of them are not true. Maybe there's a workaround to whatever is holding you back. There must be a way around to do things. That's why many people are already doing it, so there's always a way. And just having some good knowledge about what you're trying to do helps to avoid a lot of risks that you can face while you're importing from China. So we're going to discuss a few things about that. So let's start. So the biggest or the most worrying thing about people who wanting to start their own product business and importing from China is the fear or worry of getting scammed by people who they don't know. They're from overseas, they're in China, you've never seen them. This is probably the first or the second time that you're actually dealing with them, and there's no trust at all. And there definitely are many cases where people do get scammed, and you have to be very careful. So I would say this kind of myth is really true, as in you can get scammed if you don't know what you're doing. And at the same time, I would also want to say, if you empower yourself with the right knowledge, the risk or the chances of getting scammed can be reduced to minimum. So with that, I just want to say that the more knowledge you can get for yourself, how to talk to how to, first of all, how to find the suppliers, where to find the suppliers, what sort of questions to ask to help you know whether they are good legitimate suppliers or someone who's just trying to make a quick buck out of you. So asking the right questions, being aware of all the time, is really the key to be able to judge whether you are gonna get scammed or not. So once you get in touch with a supplier, you need to ask the right questions, as in what questions regarding the factories, how long they've been operating for, have they done business importing into the country where you want to import, what has been the quality history, what kind of quality checks they perform when they actually do the factories, when they actually do the production. So there's few things that you can ask them, which you can ask them, that will help you identify whether they are good suppliers or not. Usually if they are good with their answers, normally that would mean that they are in fact legitimate suppliers. But if they're taking too long to respond or not trying to avoid your questions, that can clearly indicate that they may not be the right people to do business with. So just a summary again: if you get the right knowledge, you're well versed with how things operate, and the best thing to avoid risk is to have the knowledge. And obviously there's a lot more to discuss, which we won't cover in this part of this program. But yeah, there's few things that you need to know before you start importing from China, and then you actually minimize your risk to nothing basically, and start doing your business. Okay, next point, the quality of product is inferior. That's one of the misconceptions or myths about importing from China. However, we certainly believe that it's far from truth. You have many big companies, many multinational companies, Apple, GE, and things like that. Many big companies or even medium companies have their production done in China. So of course you get low quality products in China, definitely, but depends on what you ask for. If you want the cheapest price and you go to the cheapest quality supplier, you're gonna get the cheapest quality, and you're gonna get inferior products. But if you do your research, if you are wanting to make a big business brand, want to have regular customers, you obviously would choose a supplier who gives you good quality products, and you communicate your requirements clearly in the beginning, so they know what you're expecting out of them. Communication is a big part of it. If you communicate with them very well and let them know what exactly you need, you would get good quality products, the kind of products that you actually need. So there's 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 a lot of quality of products you can get. You can get the cheapest quality, you can get the medium type of quality, or you can just get the super size quality, or the super quality product that you actually need. So you basically get what you paid for. Depends on what kind of suppliers you deal with. As I said, if Apple can do their production, I think anyone can get their production done in China. And if the importer does all the right things, he ticks all the boxes, chances are you're going to get very good high quality products. You see in the market, you go to big superstores, most of the products they are housing are made in China. So there's big companies who invest their money, and either they build the manufacturing units in there, or they outsource their production to Chinese factories, and they make sure the product is of quality, of the standard of the first world countries. So I would end this topic once again saying that you can get whatever quality you want. You can get the cheapest, or you can get the best quality. It really depends on what you're looking for. Moving on, I'll go to my next step. Another big thing is that only big companies can import from China. Well, the fact is the world has changed a lot in the last 10-15 years. It's not importing from overseas or from China, it's not a big thing anymore. It's not you need a big budget, or you need to be a very big company to be able to import from China. You could be a small online business operator, or you could have a small factory of yourself, or things like that. Anybody who has got the right knowledge and the know-how to how to get started with importing, they can import their own products from China. And it's become easier and easier with online platforms like Alibaba and many other businesses that help other people to import their stuff from China. So it's not really confined to big companies or people who have the right contacts. So anybody sitting at their home, they have a computer and a laptop, or just a phone, they can start doing business from China. Alright, let's move on. The another myth is there will be language barriers. China is predominantly a non-English speaking country. They don't have many people speaking English there. If you go to China, you won't find many people speaking in English. So English is a sort of, what do you call, it's a restriction, but it doesn't mean that you cannot do business with China. In fact, most of the good companies or the factories that you deal with over there, they have English speaking staff who are usually very young, mostly girls. They employ all of them to be able to help them to deal with overseas buyers. They get buyers from all over the world, Australia, America, UK, everywhere. So they do hire English speaking staff, and which help them to be able to get the deals done, or to be able to smoothline the process or the communication between the buyer and the seller of the goods. So if you deal with good companies, they will have people who are there to support you in order to be able to get your stuff made in China and getting them imported to your preferred country. So if you deal with decent enough factories, they will have staff which will be able to assist you with your purchases. Next one, you need to have a lot of contacts. Okay, so that's a big barrier which is definitely not true in this day and age. In the olden days, only you have to know the right people to be able to get to the right factories or the right suppliers in China, and get your products imported or start getting importing. But these days you just need to have the will to start and the will to be able to find your own business opportunity, or the business or the product that you're looking to import. And then you can get there's a lot of online platforms, like I mentioned before, um, Alibaba, Global Suppliers, Made in China, and many others that can help you easily find suppliers, and who will also assist you in getting you even more contacts. So once you have few contacts in China, they help you build more contacts. So having the right contacts is not the biggest of holding back points that you should consider. If you really want to do something, you will be able to find contacts, and we'll discuss more in other programs, how to find the right contacts, how to make sure they are good people that you want to be doing business with. So that's all we need to discuss in regards to busting the myths from China. So now I want you to do some things. Write down 2 biggest myths that you had in your mind, and now you feel that after you have heard this information, you think, oh, maybe they're not true, or maybe there's some another way that you can work around them. So take a pen and paper, write down the 2 things that you thought were holding you back, and do you feel more empowered to be able to take steps, even if you believe that those were the bad points that were holding you back from starting your own product based business.